All right, for example 1, we have to find sine of 2x, cosine of 2x, and tangent of 2x. So it's 3 problems. We'll be able to use the same angle every time, and so that will help. We're given a couple clues about it. First, we're given that cosine of x is 5/13, which is great. It doesn't give us cosine of 2x because it's just cosine of x, but this will be a tool. And then it also tells us where x is, because it's between 3 pi over 2 and 2 pi. So we know that the angle lives in quadrant 4 because of this. So I can draw an angle and build a triangle around it so that I have sides to reference. We are given the information that cosine of x equals 5/13. And since cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse, I know that the adjacent side is 5 and the hypotenuse is 13. Because this is part of a Pythagorean triple, I know that y is 12 and it's down, and so it's -12. That gets me all my info about angle x. Then let's go ahead and try to figure these out. So sine of 2x. Because it's sine of 2x, I have to use the formula. It's a double angle, and so I'm going to go up here on the front and use this angle. So the process is, if you have to find sine of 2u, write down the formula, 2 sine of u cosine of u. So do that first, 2 sine of x cosine of x. And then my next step is going to be look this up and plug it in. Look this up and plug it in. So any trig that you have in there, you can look it up and plug it in. So 2 sine of x, I don't know. Cosine of x, I was given. It's 5/13. So the one thing I got to do is find sine of x, and I should be able to look over in this picture and find sine of x. Sine is opposite over hypotenuse, so it'll be -12/13. So now I have number times fraction times fraction. When you multiply the top, or when you multiply fractions, you're just multiplying the tops and multiplying the bottoms. So I can make 2 into a fraction, 2/1, and then I can multiply top times top times top, which looks like it'd be -120. And then I can multiply bottom times bottom times bottom, which would be 169. So -120/169. Next up is cosine of 2x. With cosine of 2x, you can pick any of the 3 choices. I'm just going to pick the top one, just because I don't know if any is easier than any other. So cosine of u minus sine, or cosine squared of x minus sine squared of x. When you're squaring a trig function, you have to find the fraction first and then square it. So cosine of x, we were given, it's 5/13, and then we'll square that. Minus sine of x, we found that in the last one, it was -12/13, and then we'll square it. So whatever that is, that'll be my answer. 5/13 squared is 25/169. -12 squared is 144. 13 squared is 169. So we end up with a fractions that need to be subtracted, and we have a common denominator, so I just have to subtract the numerators. 25 minus 144. So this is -119/169. Now for the last one, I'm going to use my little trick that we've talked about in class. Tangent of 2x, it has its own formula, but you can bypass it if you know sine of 2x divided by cosine of 2x. Since I've already done the work for both of those, I can take my answers and subtract them. So -120/169 was the sine of 2x answer, and then -119/169 was the cosine answer, so I can take advantage of those, divide them, and this will be my tan answer. We talked about a little shortcut. If they're both divided by 169, those 169s do cancel out, and actually my negatives will cancel out as well. So I end up with 120/119 as my tangent of 2x answer.